Remember my whole high school days, I was for the most part in pretty good shape. I would work out, I would run, I would play basketball, and I was, in pretty good shape. So for me, when I got out of high school, I wasn't working out as much, and I didn't notice little by little how I just started gaining weight. I know that when I was in college, I started to pick up drinking, and then I was eating a lot of fast foods, and I started to notice that I would gain a few pounds here and there. First year, I gained maybe about 5 pounds, and then a few years later, I started gaining more weight and more weight. And this this picture right here is a picture of me in 2011, which was about 14 years ago. And my entire time when I was in college, up until I was in my mid 20s, I started to pack on a lot of weight. And the drinking was out of control. I was eating without even thinking about it. The majority of the times when I was eating, I was doing it to just eat my emotions because I was just having a lot of problems with my mental health, with my depression, with anxiety, and I was just extremely unhappy with myself. And for me to cope with that, food was my way of comforting myself and also drinking alcohol and doing drugs. And the alcohol definitely made a big effect in my life. I remember when I would drink, I would feel really bloated. I mean, you already see my face right there. I was extremely bloated and I just was constantly just drinking. And it got to the point where I didn't even like to look at myself in the mirror. I pretty much hated myself because I was extremely disappointed with myself. I was extremely unhappy with myself. And I just hated the person that I had become. I hated the way that I looked. I was constantly worried about people seeing me this way. And then sometimes people would call me out and tell me, man, like you've gained a lot of weight. What happened? And I was thinking to myself the same thing, but I just didn't want to face those people anymore. And at times I wouldn't go to family gatherings because I was so extremely ashamed and just disappointed with myself. And honestly, to the point where I felt like even disgusted with myself. And so for me, it was just an ongoing way of just dealing with my emotions through the eating, through the drinking. And I just didn't know how to stop. And so for me, like during that time, it was extremely difficult because at times I would have thoughts of suicide. I would have thoughts of just giving up on life. I would have thoughts of, man, I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm extremely unhappy. I'm extremely overweight. And I felt like there was nothing else to live for. And then when I found out that I was going to be a dad, that really changed my life forever. I told myself, man, if I'm not taking care of myself, who's going to take care of my kid? So if you're the type of person that's extremely overweight or just has trouble with your weight, one of the things that can help you is first finding your why, the reason why you want to lose weight, the reason why you want to feel better. And for me, that was my son. And when I found out that my kid was going to be born in 9 months, I just decided to get on a diet. I just decided to start taking care of myself. It was just a decision, and we're all one decision away from transforming our lives. And for you, you have to find that reason to transform your life and making a decision and saying, I'm no longer going to continue to live this life of being overweight, feeling unhealthy. I mean, I remember for me, like tying my shoes was a problem. I would bend over and I would be breathing hard just by tying my shoes. If I would walk or run, forget about it. I couldn't. When I would go up the flight of stairs, I was struggling. I was just really unhappy. And for me, when I was really unhappy, then I would turn to foods, or sometimes I would start a diet and then I would lose 5 pounds and then gain like 12. And then I said, man, what the hell? It's not working. And then I would give up and then I would start again and give up and start again. So this time I made the decision that I wasn't going to give up no matter what. And I remember when I was doing this diet, which really it wasn't really even a diet. It was just like a change of life, like changing my habits. I was that type of guy that would eat two or three plates in one sitting. You gave me spaghetti, man, I would tear it up, two or three plates, not just one serving. I didn't even know what a serving was back then. Nobody ever taught me about nutrition. I never knew about nutrition. I didn't care to know about nutrition. So for me, measuring my food was not something that I was used to. And that was one of the things that really helped me out a lot to lose weight was just measuring my food, counting my calories. I would serve myself, let's say, a breast of chicken with vegetables, and that was it. And it was just one breast of chicken, no more. Before I used to eat two or three breasts of chicken, so I was eating about three times the calories that I should be eating in one sitting. So for me, it was making sure that I was eating that good serving, a good portion of my nutrition to make sure that I was giving myself the right amount of nutrition. And fasting was also something that helped me out a lot. I was fasting anywhere from 14 to 16 hours. And the way that it helped me to make sure that I was fasting is I would stop eating at 5 p.m. And then the very next day, I would eat at either 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. And this was a lot easier to do, which was the fasting, was because I was able to, throughout my sleep, which was about 8 hours, I was fasting. I wasn't thinking about food because I was asleep. So that helped me out a lot. And then just until 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. And that really helped me a lot to feel lighter, feel more energy as well, because food, we feel that it gives us energy, but it actually doesn't give us energy. It sometimes slows us down, especially if you're eating a lot of meat. That'll definitely slow down your energy and you won't be able to be so well. I don't know if you've ever ate something that was really heavy and then next thing you know it, you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling tired, and you want to take a nap. So for me, the fasting helped me out a lot. And that's something that I just started doing. And that was one of the things that helped me to also lose weight. Another thing that helped me to lose weight was reducing my alcohol intake. Man, sometimes I would drink, can't even believe like a 30 pack in one night. And that was also because I was doing hard drugs like cocaine. So that helped me to stay up late and also helped me to drink more. So for me to reduce that from 30 beers to 6 beers to 3 beers, it changed everything. I can't even imagine how many calories are in like a 30 pack or how much yeast, which blew up my face. You can imagine how much my face was just blowing up because well, I actually have the evidence right there. But it was just doing that to me and also eating pizza, eating a lot of fried foods. I remember I used to eat really like fried chicken, and man, I would feel like I was almost gonna have a heart attack. I wouldn't be surprised if I was in like close to having a heart attack because I was so overweight and eating so much greasy food. So for me, just to be fasting, it helped me out tremendously to lose weight. And I was also trying to constantly do some activities throughout the day, just walking if I needed to, or parking really far from the store so I could get in more steps. I would try to get in anywhere from 10 to 20, 10,000 to 20,000 steps. I was trying to walk a lot. And then I was also using one of those suits that you put under your shirt so that you can sweat more. And man, I was losing a lot of weight with that as well. Another thing that helped me out a lot was whenever I was about to eat something, I would ask myself, is this good for me? And that simple question was very transformative because it made me aware about of what I was about to put into my body. And if I grabbed some chips, I would ask myself, is this good for me? And if the answer was no, I would put it away and then I would grab a banana or an apple. It wasn't easy. It took time to really make this change, but that awareness of what I was about to put into my body helped me a lot to just pause and reflect on what I was about to put into my body and as if it was going to serve me or not. And if the answer was no, I would just put it down, or I would drive through the fast food place that I was about to get food. I would just pass by it and say, "Is this good for me?" No, go get a piece of chicken or go get like a rotisserie chicken, whatever. Just don't eat that food because you know it's not good for you. You know it's gonna do not do good for you. And those things helped me out a lot to make sure that I wasn't consuming the things that were harming my body. And then another thing that I ended up doing was I joined a weight loss challenge. That's another thing that really got me motivated because after 3 months, if whoever lost the most weight would end up winning $400. And that was a big motivator for me, just getting money, but then also feeling better and losing weight. That was really inspirational to me. That was really a motivation for me. And then I ended up joining this contest and I ended up winning it because I was so determined to lose the weight and I was so determined to get healthier for my son. I was very determined to feel better, to look better, to make sure that I was being able to move around. I remember at times I had knee pains, my knees would hurt. And I was thinking, man, it's not because I'm old. It was because of my weight. I was extremely overweight to the point where I was uh, just not feeling good because of my knees. And sometimes I couldn't walk. So I said, man, I'm only what in my late 20s and I'm already hurting. Imagine if I continue this way, what it's gonna do to when I'm trying to play with my son. I want to make sure that I'm playing with my son. I also remember at that time we lived in an apartment that was a third floor, which was very helpful. So anytime I saw trash in my apartment, I would grab the trash and I would take it downstairs, go back upstairs. Then I would see more trash, take it downstairs, go back upstairs, just to get those steps in. Just anything I could do to make sure that I was getting my steps in. So all of these things helped me to end up losing over 70 pounds. And because of that, I was able to feel better. I felt lighter. I felt like I had more energy. But it all started with the why, a reason why I wanted this. And over time, I started to find out strategies or ways that I could implement something that would help me to get to that goal. And that was just simple tips, just making sure that I'm counting the amount of foods that I'm eating, making sure that I'm counting my calories. Do you count your calories? Or are you the type of person that just grabs two or three plates without even thinking about it? And then all of a sudden you're thinking, damn, I already gained another 5 pounds. Being mindful of that. And also making sure that you are not constantly eating food over, let's say, every 2, 3 hours, every 4 hours, or just snacking. Those things will really uh, damage your health. And then also making sure that you are being mindful of what you're putting into your body. Are you asking yourself, is this good for me? And if not, then are you putting it down? Are you putting away that food that's not good for you? I remember sometimes I would go to Circle K and I would, or like a place where you could get something quick. I would look at the chips and I'd be like, oh, this looks so good. But then I would see a banana and an apple for two for $1. And I would say, is this good for me? And when the answer was no, I would put it away and then I would just grab the banana and the apple. It wasn't the most exciting food, but it helped me to get full in that moment as opposed to grabbing and getting those chips that were a lot that were not healthy. And then also making sure that you are constantly staying on track, even if maybe you have to join maybe like a competition to motivate you, a competition where you can win money, competition where they'll give you something because you ended up losing the weight that you desire. So for you, what is your why? What is the why is it that you want to lose weight? Why do you want to lose weight? What is that motive for you that will help you to make sure that you lose weight? And if you're on this journey, if you need help with losing weight, I can help you with that. I mean, I coach people with life and business, but I can also help you because I've had the result of losing over 70 pounds. So if I can do it, you can absolutely do it. So if you're interested in just getting your health back, just send me a message and I can help you to get your health back on track and also to help you feel better so that you can start to do better. And especially if you have a business, man, if you don't have energy, you can't be performing at 100% and you can't be as productive as you possibly can. When you have energy, when you lose weight, when you feel better, when you feel lighter, you can perform better, you can do better, and you can make more money. So if you would like a free consultation, I'm giving one free consultation for anybody for 30 minutes so I can show you how I can help you get your health back. And again, if you are interested in hearing more about reinventing yourself and discovering your higher purpose, please subscribe to the channel. You can hit a like to this video and also drop a comment if you are the type of person that has lost weight, wants to share your tips with us, or if you want to lose weight, send me a message. I'd be happy to help you with that. Have a great day. Peace.